Hi there, James with ICT, out in the field doing another job. Trying to give some advice to some new guys, new installers, on some of our other videos. We kind of thought it would be a good idea to actually show some of the tools and equipment that we actually use on the job site. Kind of a run through of what we use. A little bit later, we'll go over how we use them. But let's get started. One of our favorites is a Sharpie. Seems silly, it's helpful. I have right next to me a box of cable. So I have lots of cable here, and here's my box. So when you're pulling lots of cable, you want to be able to tell what cable you're pulling and where you're pulling it to. You have a map, you know you need to pull cable over to that direction. So what you want to do is you want to know what cable you have to be able to run it all the way to the other end. So as you can see here, this one actually says 52. So on this particular site, this has been used for the 52nd cable pull to the 52nd location that we have done. This one's already done, and you saw that there were some others scribbled, but what we would do is we would actually write on this cable, starting about 3 feet from the end, A52. Something legible that we could actually see, hopefully. Then we go another couple of feet and do the same thing. 2 feet away, 52. And we do it again one more time. All the way down here, 52. So you would have 3 52s on this, roughly about 4 to 6 feet. So when you are pulling this, you will be able to have clear indication all along the front end of this thing what number it's supposed to be and where it's supposed to be dropped to for that location. You'll be able to terminate this end, and when you're ready to terminate the other end, you will have it written on the box, 52. When you're done with that, you write it on here, you cut the rest off, and you know this side is 52, the other side is 52, and you scribble this number off and start with a new data run. Pretty simple. A lot of people don't understand this. It's a very simple concept. One of the other things I want to show you is on each of these cables, there is going to be information printed up about what kind of cable it is, and also, more importantly for us, the length of the cable, which right there says 460 feet. If I remember that correctly? Yep, 460 feet. Each of these boxes carries 1,000 feet of cable. When you're running it, you're running down from 1,000. So every few feet, they print off another set. With that information, the next one would be 448. So all the way down to the end, 0. And then then you got to get a new box of cable. So at least you know how many feet are left for what you need to pull. So that's cable. Now let's say sometimes you forget that you're running so many cables, and either you accidentally chop off, you mislabel, you can't read the label, or something went wrong. This guy and this guy. The toner, the inductive amplifier. This sends tone through the wire. What we have is the ability to plug this into a keystone or a jack right here, an RJ45 or an RJ11, or we can strip the wires and hook these two guys up. That's what they're for. This one goes all along whatever wire you're trying to trace. So this has a on-off switch. We'll turn it on for now so I can show you what happens. I'm going to press this button. The closer it comes, the louder it gets. This is helpful for finding the cable if you mislabel it. So if this was terminated and we didn't know what the other side was, and we're trying to figure out which one this is, we would be able to use the toner to attach to the end. We could strip into here and get some wires out and attach it to the wires, or finish it with a keystone and plug it in with this particular jack, male end into the female, be able to tone it all the way back to wherever we want. I use this in the field and it'll go miles. It'll send tone miles and miles away. And this is really good at picking it up. So I'm going to shut that off for now. I'm going to show you a couple of other important things. Another important thing here is a fish stick. This is a fish stick. This is a piece of a fish stick. Now what this is a fiberglass flexible pole, basically, that has a threaded end and another threaded end. So you can attach multiple of these together. And when you do so, you have this incredible flex, incredible bend that you can put up into a wall, or you can put it over ceiling tile and be able to flex it and bounce it a little bit all along the top to actually get the cable to go up and over all of those things. Now, in our case, this hasn't been quite as useful this particular week. It's also glow in the dark, which is pretty cool too. But the one that's been most useful this week, the gopher pole. A telescoping fiberglass pole. This particular one, I believe, goes 24 feet. Now, it does cost a little bit of money, but it continues to expand quite a ways for you to be able to pull cable up and over ceiling tile when you have a big opening. So I'm going to do my best to hold this steady so that you can see exactly how far it goes. It goes a pretty good distance here. So this is one of the most useful for pulling cable. It speeds things up considerably fast compared to just running cable every couple of feet over some ceiling tile. So that's a very important tool that we use constantly. The way that we do this is we run the gopher pole straight over whatever we need to, whatever obstacle we have, and we attach string. I'm sitting on the bucket of string right now. So there's a bucket of string that you can buy. And with that bucket of string, you attach the string, there's 6,000 feet, you attach the string to the end of this, which is why it has this, and you are capable of pulling the string all the way through. Now, why would you pull the string instead of just the cable? Well, because right above my head right now is approximately somewhere around 20 cables, I believe, something like that, 20, 22 cables. It's awfully heavy. With that amount of cables being ran that distance for a cable run, we have a tremendous amount of weight that is very difficult to actually pull through. So we need to have the gopher pole and string so that two guys can work together to get that all the way to the other end, and then pull and then attach the cable with the string and be able to pull it all together instead of having all that on the gopher pole, which would end up getting pulled all the way back very easily and probably hurting someone. So, well, I don't have much time left, and I just went through real quick some of the tools that we use, most of the common basic ones that we use. But this and this, once we get down to the end, we need to gut the cable, then be able to cut the sheath off of the cable and terminate. So we'll get into what these do later. And then the most important thing is we need to validate, test, and validate again. That's how we verify that our cables are good. So we're not there yet in this project. We're just getting started on certain aspects of it. But we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.